Well, everything you just named in terms of, the character of Wilder and how he's, presented himself in the sport is not just the last couple of years. That's how he's always been. So when you see him sort of tuning out the world and trying to tune out Tyson Fury, it's a major red flag because it looks like he's hiding. It looks like he's struggling to deal with the pressure in the moment. And, of course, we all know, and Fury said it, that Wilder's always a punch away from upsetting the apple cart and winning a fight. But we're not talking about that. Wilder has called himself a king, and heavy is the head that wears the crown. You have to deal with these moments. There's a time and a place to be home and get away for 2, 3 months, 6 months. It's been 18 months. You got to be able to face this moment. Your trainer, Malik Scott, is getting involved in arguments and taking the bait from Fury as if he's the one that's going to fight in July, and he's not. And then you got the fighter who's tuning out the rest of the world. You have to face that. You have to shoulder it, because here's the thing. Come July 24th, those headphones are coming off, and you got to feel the arena. You got to face the pressure, and you got to hear the crowd, and you got to face Tyson Fury. And my question is, are you mentally and psychologically ready for that?
Look, I know what it's like to come into a press conference with headsets on and glasses, because I did it, Deontay Wilder. I did it.
That was the myth, the legend, the one and only Andre Ward giving his take on Wilder versus Fury Trilogy, where he said he saw major red flags in Deontay Wilder, and he questioned if Deontay Wilder is mentally ready for this fight. Now, it's shocking to see Andre Ward nitpicking Deontay Wilder for wearing headphones in order to tune Tyson Fury out, since Hagler and other legends have done similar things in the past. Nevertheless, if that's major red flags according to Andre Ward, then Tyson Fury is a walking red flag. This fight was supposed to take place last year, but thanks to Tyson Fury, we had to wait 20 months in order to get this fight. This fight have been postponed more than 5 different times. 3 times because Tyson Fury wouldn't fight without a crowd. Then after the rematch clause time window expired, due to Tyson Fury's own requests, under Tyson Fury's own demands of pushing the fight back, he then tried to breach the contract, where he paid lawyers millions of dollars according to his own admission, in order to escape the trilogy that he's bonded to by law. So instead of fighting Deontay Wilder for $60 million plus in the trilogy, instead he fought Wilder in the courtroom for 6 months, losing millions of dollars in the process.
I pay lawyers a hell of a lot of money, millions of dollars to sort shit out. So, I'm sure they're going to sort it. There's no doubt in my mind.
Eventually, he lost the case and was ordered to fight Deontay Wilder or retire from the sport and pay Wilder $80 million in damages. Few moments later, Tyson Fury lied about Deontay Wilder requesting step-aside money and many other things while he was fighting Wildboard Gate cases, and he was heavy under Glove Gate controversy. In fact, Tyson Fury started all of this running and maneuvering, attempting to break contracts that he's bonded to by law, ever since his method of cheating got exposed by new media. Therefore, Andre Ward, none of this are major red flags to you? I'm just asking. These are factual information, not assumptions. Keep in mind, Andre Ward is fully aware of all of these things, so I must hold him accountable. He's an expert, an analyst, and a legend in the game. Now, what's so ironic, after Andre Ward made them statements, weeks later, Tyson Fury faked COVID. He pulled Cap 19, postponing the fight yet again for the 5th time. And after Tyson Fury supposedly caught COVID, he was busted drinking at bars few days later. That's when old media had to establish damage control. To make matter worse, to this day, Tyson Fury have yet to submit any proof to the Nevada State Commission. So, Andre Ward, is faking COVID a red flag? I'm just asking. And to put icing on the cake, as latest as today, a week before the trilogy, Tyson Fury came out stating that he feels absolutely terrible after he got battered to bits in sparring. So, Andre Ward, I have the pleasure to ask you again, is that a red flag? I just want to know. See, the truth is, when Deontay Wilder was silent for 8 months, waiting for Tyson Fury to fight him for the 3rd time, old media battered him and wrote all types of narratives about him. Then the moment Tyson Fury tried to run from the trilogy, that's when Deontay Wilder came out and dropped the bomb squad on the mic, exposing Tyson Fury for cheating, which is the reason why Tyson Fury did everything in his power to escape the trilogy. Everything happens for a reason. That's when old media came out crucifying Deontay Wilder for speaking out, claiming he's making excuses, when Deontay Wilder provided plenty of evidence that proved Tyson Fury cheated. Regardless of the fact, old media didn't care, because Tyson Fury is the Rocky Balboa in real life. He has the complexion for the connection to get the ultimate protection. His hope insurance is better than Geico, in which he can cheat and get away with it. That's when Deontay Wilder came to a realization. He damn if he do, damn if he don't. If he stays silent or speak up, he damn either way. So he chose to be silent and wanted his action to make the noise. We seen his action during the arbitration when he won the case, which at this point he want to speak with his action fight night. Therefore, Andre Ward, that's not being mentally weak. That's being mentally ready for war. Deontay Wilder was ready to fight July 24th, but Tyson Fury wasn't. So I'm gonna ask you again, Andre Ward, who is mentally weak or mentally not stable, not ready? Wilder, who wanted to do no talking and fight July 24th, or Tyson Fury, who did all of the talking, then faked COVID in order to pull out of the July 24th date because he wasn't ready? You tell me, Ward. You tell me. It's clear as day that hanging out with the likes of Tessitore, the decaf wizards, is clouding your judgment. See, I didn't have no problem with Wilder wearing headphones because Wilder was in a state of war. He was ready to fight then, while Tyson Fury just wanted to talk rubbish and nonsense. Plus, none of the things Tyson Fury said mattered, since Wilder knows the truth. This man have been trying to run from the fight for the past 2 years. However, the only thing that I would have liked to see from Wilder was take a page out of Miguel Cotto's book when he fought Margarito for the second time, by putting all of the attention on the DNA evidence of Tyson Fury cheating with his magical gloves. Then, after doing so at the presser, Wilder could have dropped the mic and pursue as he did previously. Furthermore, to Timothy Bradley, who told Deontay Wilder that he did exactly what Deontay Wilder is going through by wearing headphones in order to isolate himself from the world. Now, Timothy Bradley could try to relate as much as he wants. However, the truth is, Deontay Wilder got cheated. You didn't, Timmy. In addition to that, Andre Ward had plenty of more to say when it came to Tyson Fury cheating. More specifically, when it came to Glovegate. Here is part 2 to that.
You know, I think Wilder, to your point, Bernardo, I think Wilder could have put himself in a better position going into this third fight to not just have a puncher's chance. If he faced some of the criticism and faced what he did, he know what he did right and what he did wrong in training camp, and not take the route that he's taken. You know, we as analysts and broadcasters, and I'll just speak for myself, I'll be the first person to call out a fighter if something was done illegally. But what I'm not going to do is put a jacket on Mark Breland or start to make accusations along with you without proof. A photo online of a glove that has indentation when there's horsehair in there and part padding, that's not the answer. You know, JD is the one that went into the locker room with Tyson Fury. He watched the wraps get put on. Right. He watched Tyson Fury put the gloves on. The commission, everybody agreed that, hey, everything is good. We'll sign off on it. So the excuses just don't line up, and that's what concerns me and would concern me if I'm in the corner of Deontay Wilder, is that, okay, we're saying all these things, but it's not amounting to much.
According to Andre Ward, he said he'd be the first one to call out Tyson Fury for cheating if it was legit. However, there isn't enough evidence. The tampered glove photo is not enough. Wilder is making excuses. Now, first of all, one thing we not gonna do is for Andre Ward to act like he was going to take a stand on something he's clearly not willing to do and take credit as if he would have done it in the process. See, what made Muhammad Ali the greatest in and out of the ring is because he spoke the truth, not giving a damn or caring if it would have offended the higher up. Therefore, if Muhammad Ali never took a stand, would he be remembered today as the hero that will live forever? Absolutely not. So, Andre Ward, you either stand for something or fall for anything. But don't try to take credit or claim you are something that you are not willing to do. Talk is the cheapest thing on earth. Actions speak louder than words. Nevertheless, Andre Ward said that the organic photo of Tyson Fury tampered gloves is not enough evidence. We all know if a picture says 1,000 words, this picture says 1,000,000 words, because we could clearly see Tyson Fury knuckles printed on the right gloves, which indicate Tyson Fury gloves have been clearly tampered with. People lie, men lie, women lie, but your eyes don't lie. But according to Andre Ward, what he's seeing with his own eyes, his own vision, is not enough evidence. That's equivalence of seeing someone on footage rob a bank, then say, that's not enough for me to criminalize him for robbing the bank. I need more evidence. I mean, what else do you need more than your own eyes, your own vision, Andre Ward? Being a disbeliever at this point, that's like a person who's been given all of the signs that God exists, and they choose to be an atheist. However, Andre Ward happens to be very lucky because Akhi's new media, I have a mountain of evidence that will turn a disbeliever into a believer. Nevertheless, before we get to the overwhelming evidence, I have few questions for Andre Ward. Would you have allowed Kovalev to fight you with the same gloves Tyson Fury fought Deontay Wilder with, where you can see the knuckles printed on the right gloves? This is a rhetorical question. Absolutely not. Boxing is not a bare knuckle brawl. Another question. I challenge Andre Ward or anybody to show me another organic photo of any boxer where we could see their knuckles printed on the right gloves, equivalence to how we can see Tyson Fury knuckles printed on his own right gloves. Furthermore, if you don't believe your eyes, Andre Ward, well, hopefully a witness will make you a believer. Tyson Fury owns sparring partner for the Deontay Wilder rematch.
This is Tyson's shit, and these are his bag, his sparring gloves that we've been sparring with. As you can see, there's no fucking padding in here, and all the padding's in the back of his fucking glove. Look at that shit. I could touch my other side of my finger with this shit, and there's shit falling out from the middle of the glove. Does he know who the fuck I am? He must not know, does he? Does he? What? Oh, he does not know. Look at this shit, man. And then, hold on, these are the sparring gloves they told me they got for me. These thick ass, look at, hold on, let's see, watch the squeeze. Going nowhere. Going nowhere. Watch this shit.
And if one witness is not enough, I have two for you. The legendary coach, millions of style boxing, Barry.
Because of where you're going in your career, your manager should know about stuff like this because, and you really got to get your, I'm sorry to be a dick, but you got to get your manager on board with the entire thing. Because the entire camp, what kind of gloves he wears, like this is your manager's job to protect you. Like I'm supposed to protect you too, but what am I going to say to them? Hey guys, Tyson shouldn't have those gloves, it's unsafe. Barry, get the fuck out of camp.
Me too. I'll go home.
Yeah, but this.
I don't mind 2 weeks. I've done enough.
Bro, not only these gloves beat up, you can like I can tell. No, I can tell.
They pushed
that
us to the front.
Beating these gloves up on a wall or something. Look, you can see that from here.
I can't believe that. But I personally,
I'm shocked. This does shock me. Like it doesn't shock me.
Bro, I can't do
It
it.
shocks me.
No, but I don't think.
No, don't hear you. Make
Also, explain to me why Tyson Fury cut off the camera in his dressing room. Also, Tyson Fury being told not to drink water and turning down water by his own team, as if the water is spiked or something.
What do you remember about the knockdowns in that fight?
Don't drink no more water because there's none of that. Don't drink no more water because there's none of that.
I don't remember anything. It was all a blur. Alln like that? I mean, were you talking back and forth? Just that whole 1 minute long process. What was going on there?
Well, I'm the head coach of the team, but we do things a little bit differently. 99% of the time, the head coach of the team is also the guy that's the lead in the corner. Ours is a little bit more like a football team, American football, where the head coach doesn't necessarily call the plays. Mark said something about possibly during the round, Mark said something about throwing the towel in, and I told him, don't do that. I didn't think you should do that. And then the fight went a little bit longer, and then I saw the towel go in. So I haven't talked to Mark about it, but we'll talk about it and figure out what exactly happened there.
What about Tyson Fury putting a dent on Deontay Wilder's skull, which is not even physically possible with 10-ounce heavyweight gloves? Is that not enough evidence, Andre Ward? Can you name a fighter that dented someone's skull in the boxing ring? Furthermore, as far as the commission, when have the last time the commission caught someone cheating? The answer is never. All of a sudden, the same people that trashed the commission, they want to use the commission as the answer to why Tyson Fury didn't cheat. The decaf wizard, Teddy Atlas. I mean, we all know, every time a fighter got busted cheating in the past, it was the trainer who got the job done and caught someone cheat instead of the actual commission. Cotto Margarito is a prime example. And forget about Cotto Margarito, even after Wilder versus Fury rematch, we had 2 different incidents where 2 fighters got busted tampering with their gloves. And it wasn't the commission who got the job done. Nope. It was the trainer of the opposite corner, just like always. And the fights were Foster versus Roman and Michael Fox versus Gabriel. So to Andre Ward, where was the commission you were talking about? And last but not least, Deontay Wilder trainer. How come he didn't get the job done? First of all, Tyson Fury could have tampered with his gloves way before JD's even got there. Because when they cut off the camera in the dressing room, JD's wasn't even there. And the same thing could be said to Cotto trainer when Antonio Margarito cheated. Cotto trainer was there watching him. That does not change the fact that Margarito cheated that night. The same thing applies to Deontay Wilder. So why are people defending Tyson Fury blind, even though he has a history of cheating and lying? These are factual information that's documented. On the other hand, Deontay Wilder never cheated, never will, and always told the truth. We all know what time it is. Deontay Wilder have the complexion for the neglection. And the darker the complexion, there is no connection. And Andre Ward know this better than I do. The same people that were rooting for Kovalev to win against him are the same people that's rooting for Tyson Fury to beat Deontay Wilder again. They don't care even if he cheats in order to get the job done. The magnitude of this fight is like Ward versus Kovalev times 1,000. This is the most significant trilogy of all time due to the racial agenda behind this fight. So Andre Ward needs to choose. Does he want to be in the wrong side of history or the right side of history? It's not too late to change. And with Andre Ward's platform, he could perform wonders speaking the truth. However, with or without Andre Ward, the truth will always prevail. The truth is like the wave of the ocean. It will always get to its destination. Andre Ward will do himself a favor speaking the truth. He's a beautiful person in and out of the ring. It's his mic, his platform, and his choice. At the end of the day, or at least the night, 3 things that can't be hidden are the sun, the moon, and the truth. They will always come out. Therefore, once the truth comes out, everyone is in charge of where they want to be in life. The right side of history or the wrong side of history. With the facts being laid out, drop your thoughts in the comment section below, subscribe below, and click on the notification bell to be continued on the next episode of Akhi, Akhi, TV. Peace, and I'm on to the next one.